Gentlemen, we gotta talk about AEW because recently they've been having pretty decent shows. Admittedly, I like WWE more. I mean, you look at the t-shirt I'm wearing right now, but the feud between Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland with that crazy house scene where Hangman is sitting there, puts the entire house on fire, badass visual. Admittedly, badass. No matter which side of the WWE, AEW tribal war you sit on, it's cool. And they have other, like Bryan Danielson, for example. He's been doing some decent stuff. What he's doing with Jack right now, I forget his surname, is questionable, of course, but at least he's putting over a young talent, so I can't really hate that. But why, then, are they getting still 660,000 views? Because, recently they've been having these, cool storylines, a bunch of them, for a couple of months now, so you would think that they would at least get closer to 1 million, which they have not hit in oh so long now. Has it been a year? It feels like it's been more than that to me. But in this video, I just want to kind of question and think about why these guys haven't got back up to a 1 million yet. Because I think I got an answer. My answer, maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. Before I talk about what my answer is though, as you can see, my setup is a little different now. I just moved to a new house, back to my country of origin actually. So things have been going lightning fast, but we'll be getting back to content creation, talking about wrestling, playing wrestling video games more, just so you know. So if you are a subscriber, go ahead and stay tuned. If you're not, I think this is a good opportunity for you to go ahead and subscribe for more pro wrestling content because, yeah, I'm excited. But let's talk about AEW again. What is the problem with them? Because again, they've been having decent segments, so shouldn't that translate into more viewers, right? Especially if they haven't have these decent segments consistently. Surely then we should be having more viewers. So what is it? Do we have the NBA playoffs? Do we have like the NFL football season? I don't think we do have any of those right now. And I'll be honest, I never see them as a argument anyways. Say, like Game of Thrones was continuing back in the day, and let's say we're in the first season and a new episode is about to come out at the same time as the NBA playoffs. Like, there's no force in the world, in the entire world, that will make me stop watching Game of Thrones at that point and go watch NBA playoffs. If something is cool enough, if I'm looking forward to something, if it's exciting and good enough, I don't care what's counter-programming it, It's not gonna make a lick of difference for me. So I just found that argument, they used to do it before AEW existed anyways as well. I think it rings hollow. I think it's due to the quality of the program. And that's actually the number one when it comes to my answer. That's part one, let's say. Part two is the fact that this decline that we saw from over 1 million to now 600,000, and it's probably going to keep going down, is not something that's happened like that. This is a process, week after week, month after month, year after year, just people being turned off of one or many things and finally saying, okay, I quit. So, it's a amalgamation of many, many things happening over time that led this audience to go ahead and call it quits when it comes to AEW. I was one of those people as well. I certainly saw a lot of problems with AEW. The problems that still persist today, by the way, like too many titles that nobody gives a shit about. Nobody gives a shit about. Let's be real about that. Too many titles. I could not even imagine trying to count all of them right now. Too many matches in the pay-per-views. I look forward to AEW pay-per-views sometimes because they always deliver with some crazy moments, debuts, and good matches in general. Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland was a pretty fun match, right? It was actually pretty good. But the problem is you have 10 other matches preceding that, and you get tired. I have the same problem with New Japan Pro Wrestling as well, which is why I actually like what Triple H is doing with the WWE pay-per-views right now. So it's just too long of pay-per-views. Then you have amazing matches like MJF and Ospreay. This is a recent example. That's why I'm giving it out right now. This is a dream match. So you can build a storyline around this. You can make it exciting. No, you basically blow your load in the first 10 seconds. Pause. I don't even care if it's pause. Like, why would they literally had like Will Ospreay and I guess MJF on the screen for like 1 week, and then next week we had the match. So why would I care what happens in the pay-per-view? Especially when, it's weird wrestling. That's what I would like to call it. That's another problem with AEW that still exists. I see the examples of it in all of the indies, in WWE as well. Like you look at Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. What I'm getting at is like, wrestlers don't act like they're in a wrestling match, that they're fighting for their lives, for more money, for more, fame and everything else that comes along with that. They just make it look like a circus act and they don't take it seriously. So when they don't take it seriously, I can't take it seriously either. Like when I look at Star Wars, I want to see lightsaber cutting through people. If that doesn't happen, how the hell am I supposed to take any of the lightsaber fights, the Jedi, the Sith, seriously? Same goes with wrestling. I don't want to get too deep into it because that's not our main thing, but if I thought about it with Tony Khan is a huge problem. Yeah, it's the number one problem. I made a video about this in the past. Like, I went into it deeper in that. So I'm not going to go ahead and, like I said, delve into these problems too much because, like I said, these have existed for the past 5 years. And I've been talking about them. Not only me, everybody else in their mother. Even AEW fans tend to agree with some of the points I probably made here, right? But that's it, man. Those problems over time, they just really get in the way of your enjoyment, and it comes to a point where you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna watch anymore. It happened to me when Kenny Omega was in the middle of the ring with Don Callis, and he said, he was the AEW champion, by the way, the main guy of your entire company. He said, 69 me Don. That's when I said, you know what, screw this company. I'm not gonna watch this regularly. Now, because I do YouTube, I obviously have to keep up with it and I watch it, but a lot of the same things happen to my friends that I know who love watching wrestling. Earlier on, way earlier than I, tapped out, they stopped watching AEW way before me because of reasons like this. And then other people besides me and my friends, perhaps maybe you had the same experience that I did while you're watching this video. So that's it. So over time, they just slowly got sick of it. And to get them back might be impossible. But if it is possible, for the majority of them, 90% of them, it's not going to be just one moment, oh, Bryan Danielson had a great match, now I'm back to watching. No, it's going to be 10 of those Bryan Danielson matches. It's going to be 1 year or a whole couple of great months of, staying hot and just making undeniably amazing programming so that people have to come back. They're going to come back slowly just as they left slowly, right? It happens with every relationship in life, or most relationships. You never, meet somebody, or most of the time anyways, and you're like in love with them, it happens gradually. And then if you stop loving them, that happens gradually as well. Same thing here. So I think that's the reason why, even though AEW has been doing some good stuff, great stuff even recently, maybe even fairly consistently, they got to do it for longer. They got to keep the combo going. And with Tony Khan at the helm, with the past 5 years and the way they shaked out, I just don't see that ever happening. So yeah, I'm pessimistic about AEW's future. We'll see. I still want them in business, obviously. That's my viewpoint, because more work for wrestlers, more opportunities, more creative freedom. Like, it's just better that they exist. But just because of that, I'm not going to sit here and close my eyes to all of their problems. Doesn't mean I can't criticize them. And believe me, by the way, if you think that I don't criticize WWE, if you think that I'm a WWE glazer, you're dead wrong. I mean, before AEW ever existed, I was just going in hard on Vince McMahon, his booking decisions, WWE in general. I dish out the same amount of criticism, punishment, or whatever to whoever deserves it. So it could be New Japan, doesn't matter which wrestling company. And sometimes, I gotta be honest, I tend to be a bit too negative. But, if somebody deserves praise, I do my very best to give them praise as well. As I think I've done so in this video as well. I said a couple of things that AEW is actually doing right, and they're like, I can easily say that again. Hangman and Swerve is just pretty fucking good. I want to continue watching that, see where it goes. It's entertaining stuff. So yeah, but that's my take on it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think. Tell me if I'm wrong or if I was right. What do you think? Why is AEW still at 660,000 views even after all of this? Let me know. That being said, I'll see you on the next one.